Hello there. I'm Mary Holiday, and I'm here to tell you about a jolly little elf named Jump Jump. He lives with me in Holiday House. Do you hear all the toys laughing? The laughter's coming from inside Holiday House, our house, which isn't the biggest house in the world, but I imagine it's about the happiest house in the world, all because Jump Jump lives there. I want to tell you about the first day that Jump Jump came to Holiday House. One day, I was walking through my garden saying good morning to all the flowers when suddenly I heard the strangest noise. Just like that. I looked around, but I couldn't see anyone at all, except old Bumblebee, who was flying around my head. And then I heard it again. And then I saw a tiny pair of red boot heels kicking frantically above the rim of a big buttercup blossom. My, I said, what have we here? And I took hold of the little boot heels and pulled, and up, feet first, out of the buttercup came a little man. The tiniest little man I'd ever seen. His little snub nose, blonde hair, and green suit were sprinkled with gold dust from the buttercup. And as he stood in the palm of my hand, he kept shaking his fist and shouting at old Bumblebee. Oh, he was mad, I can tell you. I don't know what you're saying. You talk too fast. And stop shaking your fist at old Bumblebee.
He posed me in. He posed me in. That's what he did. He posed me in. No, Bumblebee pushed me in. I'm going to get him. You just get old Bumblebee.
Please, please. Old Bumblebee pushed you in the buttercup? Oh, that's too bad. What's your name?
Jump Jump is my name. My name is Jump Jump. Jump Jump is my name.
Jump Jump? Oh, why are you called such a funny name?
I have to tell you about Jump Jump. That's what my holiday says.
Oh, because you jump.
I never walk. I never run. I always jump. It's much more fun. I always jump like this.
And with that, he jumped right out of my hand and over onto a daisy flower. I'm very glad to know you, Jump Jump. Why don't you come to live with me in Holiday House? Yes, Jump Jump, come live with me in Holiday House. And then old Bumblebee won't bother you. You wouldn't take up much room, being only 3 inches tall. Well, Holiday House is a house where every day is a holiday, like the 4th of July, or Christmas, or Easter, or Saturday at the circus. We have such good times in Holiday House, and I'm sure you'd like my friends. There's Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and Merle the Squirrel and... You will? You'll come live in Holiday House if I'll do 2 things. What are the 2 things, Jump Jump? Bake pies and tell stories. Yes, I'll do both, Jump Jump. What kind of pies do I bake? Well, I can bake cherry pies and pumpkin pies and chocolate pies. What kind of stories do I tell? Oh, all kinds. New stories about the little lost star and Sleepy Slim the lion and old stories about the 3 bears and the Ugly Duckling and... But why must you be told a bedtime story every night? Oh, if you're not told a bedtime story, you continue to jump around all night. Dear, it would be disquieting to have you jumping about all night, even if you are only as big as my thumb. Yes, I'll tell you a bedtime story every night at Holiday House, if you promise to sit still and listen. You better let old Bumblebee sit on the daisy if he wants to. You're too heavy for the flower anyway. Never argue with a bumblebee. Here, Jump Jump, jump into my pocket. Hurry. Goodbye, old Bumblebee. Jump Jump's coming to live with me in Holiday House. And as the bumblebee flew away, Jump Jump stuck his head out of my pocket and sang this little song.
My name is Jump Jump, jolly little Jump Jump, work is always great. I'm as quick as the wind, and my very best friend is Merry Holiday.
That was sweet, Jump Jump. And now let's go to Holiday House. The Ugly Duckling, whose story I shall tell you, began his life as an egg. This egg lay in Mama Duck's nest down by the duck pond. There were other eggs in the nest, too, waiting to be hatched. And one fine summer day, crack went an egg. And there was a little cheeping noise as a small yellow head emerged from the eggshell. Well, said Mama Duck, at last the eggs are beginning to hatch. I'm very bored with sitting on this nest all day. Crack went another egg, crack went another egg, and so on until all had been hatched. Except the big, ugly egg. Oh, my, sighed Mama Duck. I wish this egg would hurry and break. And just as she said it, the big egg cracked open and out scrambled the Ugly Duckling. Mama Duck said, well, children, off we go for a swim in the pond. And down the path they went, all the fluffy little ducks, waddling along after their mother. Trailing behind was the Ugly Duckling. The day was beautiful. Butterflies flitted over the pond, and the water went lap, lap against the shore. Mama Duck walked right over to the bank, and splash! She was in the water. Quack, quack, she said, and one duckling after another plumped in. And the last one in was the Ugly Duckling. As they swam around the pond, Mama Duck heard the other ducks say, my, look at Neighbor Duck and her children. They're all handsome, except that big one swimming along behind. The Ugly Duckling knew that the others were making fun of him, and out of the corner of his little eye slid a big, fat, round tear. It was wrong to talk about the poor little gray duckling, but they did. And the little Ugly Duckling put his head down and sang a sad little song. Look at all the happy little ducklings, they're as pretty as can be. I'm a poor little ugly little duckling, no one cares to play with me. The next day in the barnyard was worse. A chicken said, you're ugly, Ugly Duckling, and pecked him. The poor duckling was chased around by everyone. His own brothers and sisters were downright nasty to him. I hope the cat gets you, you skinny bag of bones. The geese chased him, the turkey gobbler came at him, and the girl who fed them kicked him with her foot. And so, half running and half flying, he got over the fence. The Ugly Duckling kept running until he came into the marsh where the wild ducks lived. And there he lay down, softly crying to himself. Look at all the happy little ducklings, they're as pretty as can be. I'm a poor little ugly little duckling, no one cares to play with me. Autumn came. The leaves in the woods turned yellow and brown, and the wind whirled them about. And one evening, just as the sun was setting, out of the bushes came a flock of beautiful birds. They were dazzling white, with long, graceful necks. Yes, Jump Jump, they were swans. They spread their splendid wings, and as they rose high in the air, a strange feeling came over the little duckling. He turned round and round in the water, watching them till they were gone. The winter grew bitterly cold, and the duckling thought, oh, surely I will die. But he didn't die, and it would be sad to tell all the troubles he suffered that cruel winter. But at last spring came, and in the warm sunshine the ugly duckling spread his wings, and before he knew it, he found himself in a garden where apple trees were in bloom. And out from the thicket floated 3 beautiful white swans. The ugly duckling was trembling all over, thinking of his ugliness. But as he bent his neck to bow to the beautiful birds, he saw a reflection of himself in the water. And what do you think? He himself was a graceful white swan. The lilacs dipped their branches into the water before him. The sun shone warm and mild, and he held his graceful neck high and said, "I never dreamed so much happiness was possible when I was the ugly duckling."
And so ends the story of the Ugly Duckling.
Yes, Jump Jump, he was really a beautiful swan.